Yo, yo, yo. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, freedom marchers, freedom family, freedom lovers, and freedom fighters. Snapzilla Gorilla is in the building. Here's the thing. You're choosing the lesser of two evils. If you acknowledge that both sides have some problems, they both do bad shit, then you are acknowledging that they are both evil. You just don't want to say you're choosing the lesser of two evils, because if you're choosing the lesser of two evils, guess what you're doing? You're still choosing evil. Well, how do you determine who has the most evil and who's less evil? How do you know? See, now you got to get into the weeds of, well, you got to actually dig deep and find out. When you say things like, oh, the Republican Party is the party of PDF files, well, then you're saying that there are no PDF files in the Democratic Party, when both parties, where individuals of both parties have been caught in scandals just like that. You're dismissing the fact that Bill Clinton, a Democrat, was heavily involved with Jeffrey Epstein and other Democrats that have been caught on the list, that have been involved, that have been named. You're saying, oh, the Republican Party is the party of evil, the party of this, the party of that. And I'm saying they both are the parties of evil. They both have people within their parties that do horrible things. Do you know that these people are colleagues? Democrats and Republicans in the House and in the Senate, they are colleagues. They work together. They have private conversations. They hang out. They go to the same parties. And then you want to, okay, so they have different ideologies. No, they're presenting you with two different ideologies. Because you see, some people on the left have similar ideologies to people on the right. But what they focus on are the differences that they want the people that they are supposed to represent to see in each other. They are presenting you with these things as though they don't operate on the same accord. They have to operate on the same accord. That's the only way the system works. They go through cycles. They cycle. We cycle through Democratic control and Republican control. Two different parties. Two parties of the same system. Two wings of the same bird. Are they literally identical? No, they're not. I never said that they were identical. But you want to take what I said and you want to focus on the words I used. You want to focus on the metaphor I used to try to prove me wrong. To put words in my mouth, to say I said that they're identical. I never said that. Oh, well, the wings are identical on the bird. And then you got, oh, it's actually two different birds. No, that's irrelevant. This argument that you're focusing on is not real. Whether there are two birds in one cage or two wings of the same bird is irrelevant. What I'm talking about is you have two parties in one system. When I say two wings of the same bird, I'm talking about two parties, one system. The system of Congress. If you want to consider Congress the bird, and you have a Republican Party and a Democrat Party within the same Congress, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about they're genetically identical. If you look down at the molecular level, they're the same, blah, blah, blah. Now, I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about, straight Godzilla, Trill Will, salute to y'all, is that they operate from the same system. They are both bribed by these special interest groups and corporations and bankers that operate within the system. They can't do what you can't do what they can do. You can't lobby like these people lobby. Both parties, do you know members of both parties get approached by the same special interest groups that you will never hear about. You might hear about it, a special interest group like the NRA. That's a special interest group. Big oil, big pharma, private prisons. They all are special interest groups that have influence over these so-called representatives within the system, and they're presenting you two different parties. But they both belong to one system. They can't exist independently of each other. What I'm saying is that there are influences outside of government, private organizations, private individuals that actually get what they want done through legislation presented by your representatives. And they push these different ideologies onto you to convince you, oh, look, well, I have to choose a Republican or a Democrat. These are false choices, false dichotomies, because there are other choices. They are presenting you with two choices, and they're telling you, oh, well, this group likes this bit of legislation. Oh, their policies are better than their policies. Well, what you might consider a good policy, someone else might not consider a good policy, and they understand that. So this is what they put in front of you. But at the end of the day, the most infringing legislation are bipartisan. The legislation that encroaches upon your liberties and freedoms the most are bipartisan. The Patriot Act was a bipartisan bill that stomped on the rights of so many individuals. Bipartisan. The Model States Health Emergency Powers Act. Bipartisan. These are extremely violative pieces of legislation. See, I've been doing this for years. I have live streams where I'm sitting in my computer and I'm showing you guys the information. I've been doing this for years. I've been at this. I've been doing this. I just posted a live stream I did 6 years ago where I debunk these statistics regarding black population versus black crime completely 6 years ago. I have been doing Ashtray Godzilla. Yeah, you might see me in my van right now all the time because I'm moving and shaking. But when I get behind that computer and I can show y'all some shit, I'm a hell of a researcher. So, you want to know if both parties violated your rights? Absolutely, every fucking day. Both parties have pushed through legislation that violates your rights. You just have to know what your rights are. Do you know there is a clause in the Constitution that talks about rights that aren't enumerated within the Constitution? See, there are the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights are presented within the Constitution to restrict the government and tell the government what it can't do. That's what that's there for. Well, it also talks about in the Constitution rights that aren't enumerated within there that you still have. Rights that you might not even acknowledge. Just because it's not in the Bill of Rights does not mean that it's not a right that belongs to you. I took political science classes when I was in college. This is when I learned, because I had a professor that actually cared about speaking truth to power. The professor, would never tell us which party he belonged to. Never tell us that. But he told us about the two other branches of government, unofficial, that they will never tell you about. I was a young man. The two branches that they will never tell you about: the propaganda branch, which is mainstream media, and the special interest groups and the corporations. That is another branch that they won't tell you about. They won't tell you it's a branch of the government, but they do tell you, oh yeah, we got people that lobby and give us money to do shit that they want us to do. You think they just lobby to one side? You think these corporations and special interest groups only lobby? They lobby both sides. They give donations to these people to pass legislation that they want on both sides. But, you know, it is what it is. And their rights, like I said, there aren't enumerated that they violate all the time. You want to know when the Democrat has violated your rights outside of the assault weapons bill? Because see, when I said, well, you know, the assault weapons bill, the assault weapons ban violated rights, I was told, oh, the goalpost was moved. I was asked to show when a Democrat violated rights. I said the assault weapons ban. Then the goalpost moved to, oh, well, that worked. Oh, it did this, it did that. I was told by a veteran that assault weapons bans are weapons of war. I'm a veteran myself. I was told by a fellow veteran that assault weapons are weapons of war. Huh? What was it? Excuse me? Assault weapons are weapons of war? When? Do you know they have pistols in the military? Right? Typically, your platoon leader or your captain or your lieutenant, they would have the pistols, right? When I was in the infantry, I was assigned an M4 and a squad automatic weapon. And I even had a 240 Bravo. They used to call it a 240 Bravo. Now they call it an M240. I don't know why. But we had pistols and a bayonet. We had bayonets as well. Is that a weapon of war? A knife? What about the 9mm pistol? Is that a weapon of war because a soldier can carry it into battle? What are we talking about? So you mean to tell me, as a veteran, that you agree with an assault weapons ban, and you're telling me, like I'm an idiot, that an assault weapon is a weapon of war? Do you know that the new bill that they were trying to introduce in 2023, the new assault weapon ban? Hold on, guys. Just one second. Just one second. Do you know the assault weapon? What is that? What is an assault weapon? You know, this right here. This. If I assault somebody with it, guess what? It's a weapon now. if I use this, if I hit somebody with this, it has become an assault weapon. So you're telling me an assault weapon is a weapon of war. Define to me what an assault weapon is. Because in that ban, it consisted of whatever the fuck I don't even give a fuck. Because guess what? ARs, right? That's what they're calling assault rifles, right? No, it was an Armalite rifle. And if you want to get technical, when I got in, we had M16s, M16A2s. M16A2s had two selections of fire. You had single and you had 3-round burst. 3-round burst. Because in Vietnam, they had M16A1s and they were just spraying and praying. And guess what? They wasted a lot of ammunition in Vietnam with those fully automatic weapons. But what they discovered is when they changed it to 3-round burst, it was more accurate, there was less muzzle rise, and less wasted ammunition. Salute to Mac of the South. Salute to you, bro. Good morning, Desiree Oliver. Salute to you, beautiful. Beautiful Desiree Oliver's in the building. Hold on, let me mod you up. You've been rocking with your boy. I'm sorry. I can't help it when I see a beautiful woman. I gotta say something. Anyway. Salute to everybody. Lizy. Assault weapon is a legal term. Stop being silly. I don't give a fuck what you say it is. Legal term. Do you know that they have tried to expand the definition of an assault weapon in this new 23 in the new bill, which would include certain handguns? In California, they changed the definition multiple times. It went from an AR style rifle, right? A semi-automatic AR style rifle with a magazine release button. A magazine release button. So they wanted you to have to use a tool to release the magazine. Well, guess what? When people found ways around that, they said, well, you got to open the action before you can change the magazine. So now they're expanding and changing the definitions arbitrarily. See, you're fucking with somebody that knows some shit. So when you change and expand and arbitrarily add definitions to further violate people's rights because, well, the first violation wasn't good enough. We're just going to keep adding bullshit to it until, guess what? Next thing you know, any firearm that can fire one bullet with the action, with a single action, with the single trigger pull, where you can then reset and pull the trigger again, but they want you to have to take steps between that. So if you have, now they're trying to expand it to semi-automatic pistols and semi-automatic rifles, period. They're trying to expand the definition. Right? Because pistols also you have semi-automatic pistols. You have double action revolvers where you can just pull, every time you pull the trigger, you fire the weapon. That's semi-automatic. Guess what? They don't like that. They want you to believe that if you have a semi-automatic weapon, oh, well, then when they go to shoot up a school, they're going to kill that many more people. Oh, and about that assault weapons bill in the 90s and the study surrounding that. Do you know that they were very, very particular about that study? The study that you say showed that it was effective. Do you know why it doesn't work? The study didn't work because it was much too restrictive. Let me tell you. I'm gonna give you some information. Since you like that, since you guys like, this is not just about Trill Will. This is about anyone, because This is not the first time I've heard this from people like from individuals. No, I've been arguing this for years. I've been arguing this shit for years. I did a live stream. I present data. Just because most of the time y'all see me in here, I present data. I've done it over the years. I've done it about the assault weapons ban in 1994. I've done it. I showed the data. I've showed the data. Pirated copy says there is no laws because there is no equality, because when monkey speaks, the truth stays silent. Money, yeah, exactly. Example of what switch? John Parham. Desiree Oliver. You're welcome, beautiful. The beautiful Desiree Oliver. Salute to you. Now, the assault weapons ban, right? They did a study. I'm going to go to the look at the study. I mean, they did so many studies about this. Now, if you can go and find a study that says whatever you want it to say. All you got to do is pick and choose. Right? But if you look at the study, this is from the National Library of Medicine, the NCBI, right? Now, just so y'all know, this study about the assault weapons ban was particular in regards to public mass shootings, right? Public mass shootings. See, it's very limited study. So if you want to say, well, yeah, in regards to public mass shootings, there was a reduction. Yeah, you can nitpick and cherry pick all you want. You can cherry pick all you want when you look at a study like this. Now it says public shootings constitute a fraction. Public shootings constitute a fraction, less than 1% of approximately 20,000 annual firearm homicides in the United States. Less than 1%. Less than 1%. All right. Now, it also says semi-automatic weapons are common in the United States and include a majority of pistols. Right? Okay, so let's get to the definition. The definition of an assault weapon can be a source of confusion. You know why? Because there's no such thing as a specific assault weapon. That's why it's a source of confusion. Semi-automatic weapons and assault weapons, second grip plus other features. A second grip are often mistakenly conflated. Semi-automatic weapons will automatically load another cartridge into a chamber, but require the handler to manually release and press the trigger to fire each round. That's a semi-automatic weapon. Automatic weapons further allow handler to hold the trigger for continuous fire. Now, the firearm assault weapon ban explicitly noted some of the most commonly purchased assault weapons. Most commonly purchased, constituting less than 1% of the total homicides. Listen, some of the most commonly purchased weapons constituting less than 1 motherfucking percent. Anyway, the ban covered firearms having a detachable magazine and at least two of the following. A detachable magazine? A detachable magazine makes the weapon more deadly? Oh, well, because you can quickly change the magazine. So the fuck what? So what? Anyway. A telescoping stock. A pistol grip that protrudes continuously. A bayonet mount. A bayonet mount. A flash suppressor or a grenade launcher. Semi-automatic pistols and shotgun. Now, answer me this question. In these public shootings, which one involved a bayonet and a grenade launcher? Okay, semi-automatic pistols and shotguns are similarly banned, contingent on the presence of other specific attachments. Kangar J, salute to you. The correct term is assault rifle. Well, no, this was an assault weapons ban, Kangar J, that I'm talking about. It included pistols with certain attachments. So you can't say rifle. Desiree says, do y'all know when the Constitution was drafted by James Madison, Thomas Jefferson wanted it to be re-examined every generation, 19 to 24 years, because, well, they change. Ooh-wee. Desiree? Yes, absolutely. You're right about that. Now, help me understand. See, what are the factors of these shootings? The detachable magazine and the semi-automatic feature. The detachable magazine and the semi-automatic feature. No one stuck a bayonet on the end of their rifle. No one had a grenade launcher in these public mass shootings. So, anyway, now let's talk about what the study focuses on. The study focuses on the impact of the FWA-AWB on public mass shootings. The approach differs from previous research in three aspects. Previous research. So, if these things were not, I'll go through it later. The approach differs from previous research in three aspects. One, a focus on public mass shooting events as the primary outcome variable. Two, counterfactual estimates of the number of events that would have occurred had the FAWB never been implemented. And three, analogous estimates if the FAWB were continued. Because assailants often aim to maximize results, the restrictions imposed by may have had a greater impact on public mass shootings than other types of mass shootings. Other types of mass shootings? What other types of mass shootings? Oh, so they're just talking about one type of mass shooting. Kangar J says, heck, there are people out there that own rocket launchers and they don't hear them causing massacres. No, they don't. Right? Because you can get a tax stamp and buy those types of weapons. Right? But that's still a violation of rights. Most now it says most FAWB studies focus on reduction in fatalities or injuries as outcome variables. What, I don't know, Desiree Oliver. What are the other types? It says Coper and Roth and Post et al., meaning others, are exceptions which focus on the number of public mass shootings. However, they tempered their FAWB research findings because the ban's long-term effects could differ from short-term impacts revealed by this study. Long-term effects versus short-term impacts revealed by this study. To that end, the study extends our prior research to examine the association between FAWB and public mass shootings. Now, that means that you can't, the reason they're doing it to FAWB for public mass shootings is because that was the focus and the purpose of the assault weapons ban, which constitutes less than 1% of total homicides, using one of the most commonly purchased firearms, types of firearms in the world, in the country. This so-called assault weapon, one of the most commonly purchased, constituting being used in less than 1% of total homicides. Now, ask me if I give a fuck. I don't. See, this is the difference between me and a statist. The difference between me and a statist is I don't give a fuck how many times any weapon is used in any homicide. I still want that. See, that's the difference. You can't argue with me about this shit because guess what? I don't give a fuck about a motherfucking ban. I don't give a fuck who used what in what crime. You know why? Because I'm not going to do those things. I'm not going to commit those crimes. I'm not going to go out. I'm not going to go to a school and do that. I'm not going to go up and down the street to a street corner dude selling yayo and do that. I don't operate in that life. I don't operate in that world. You know what I do? I mind my own motherfucking business. And I have an understanding that these weapons are out there. And just because I mind my own business doesn't mean that somebody that wants to do harm to me cares about that. So that's why I need that. That's why I need that. That's why I need that. See that? You know, I need that. You know why? You know why? Because there are those who out there that have them that don't give a hot fuck about your motherfucking assault weapons ban, that don't give a hot fuck about a background check, that don't give a fuck about a magazine ban. They don't give a fuck about none of that. Because they're criminals. So if they want to go and they want to rob you, they want to murder you, they want to do this, they want to do that, you think they're gonna, oh man, this assault weapons ban, oh my God, I can't do it now, oh man. No, they don't give a fuck. Did the assault weapons ban make all the assault weapons disappear? Absolutely not. No, they didn't. The black market provides for what the government prohibits. Am I wrong or am I right? When they prohibited liquor, guess who provided the black market in the form of bootleggers? You see, that's the difference between me and the states. I don't give a fuck. I understand this. So the government is trying to convince you, well, we need to ban these and ban that. We need to do this and do that to make you safer. How are you going to do that? Because all you're doing is stopping me from having the ability to defend myself against people that don't give a fuck about your motherfucking law. Fuck your law. How to help me? What was it? Are you okay? Which government agency? Which government agency created a law to ban something and then stopped people from using that banned thing? Not a one. Drug prohibitions? Drug prohibition. We have drug prohibitions right now. Is that stopping people from using drugs? Is that stopping the cartel from flooding this country with drugs? When they prohibited marijuana, cocaine, and all these different substances, did they just poof disappear like some magic trick? Absolutely not. Oh, I can't get it legally now. I got to go to the street. You know why? Because the black market provides. But you want me to look at one party and say, oh yeah, that's the evil party. This other party, they just can do evil. They are capable of evil, but that party is just evil. Nah, I don't roll like that. I have an understanding. Because I know that every law they pass that tramples on your rights, and they tell you, oh, we're just doing it for public safety. We're doing it for your health. We're doing it for this. We're doing it for that. I know it's straight up bullshit. I know it's about control. I understand that. This is the understanding I have. I'm not an independent. I'm not a Green Party motherfucker. I'm not a libertarian. I ain't none of that. I am an anarchist. Do you know what that means? That means no authority. It doesn't mean no order. It doesn't mean no structure. It doesn't mean any of that. What that means is that when you say no authority, that means that there is no central authority ruling over everyone. You know why? Because that authority simply cannot represent the needs and interests of every single individual. It cannot be possible. And this is what they understand. That's why they focus on representing these special interest groups and the corporations. I am not arguing left versus right. I'm not arguing whether one side is more evil than the other. I just prefer not to fuck with any evil if I so choose. And that's where we have the disconnect. I've encountered this argument many times. The focus is on the words that I'm using. Oh, you said identical this and birds, two wings of the same. No, that's not what this is about. It's a metaphor. You want to dismiss it as a metaphor because you understand I mean it as a metaphor. C-Unit said black market has nothing to do with race. It has to do with the darkness in which the black alleys and nighttime deals were conducted. Yes. The government loves the black market. Which side violates rights more than the other? Why are we keeping score? Why are we keeping score? Oh, you're okay with, so if one side violates your rights 20 times and the other side violates 19 times, then you're okay with the one that violated 19 times? I don't give a fuck if the right violated your rights 8,000 million fucking Google times and the left violated it one time. Fuck both of them. And if you have an understanding, if you say you understand that both sides do fucked up shit, then why are you arguing with me about my position about fuck both of them? Why argue with me and try to convince me that the right is the party of PDF files, as though the left don't have PDF files? Why argue with me about how the right is trying to violate free speech when the left has also tried to violate free speech in any other right, from the second all the way to the 10th? That's what I'm trying to understand. Left tyranny is better than right tyranny? And you want to talk about the policies? Like what? Like what? Because I often hear the policies. The policies this, the policies that. That side has better policies. Lee Reed says Republican pukes are pedos. So are Democratic pukes. So, damn, I forgot what I was about to say. The left and the right. Shit. So, anyway, goddamn, I forgot what I was about to say. The bottom line is, both sides are ass. If one side violates and the other side violates, I'm not concerned with, oh, the policies. You want to talk about policies. Oh, well, the Democrats and the Democrats have better policies. They want free health care and free this and free that. Ain't nothing motherfucking free. What are you talking about? Free health? How do we, what? Free health care and free this and free that? No, it's not free. They have to pay for this shit. The autisticrat says, I'll pay. Well, that's your choice. You want to pay. See, taxation is theft. You say it's free, it's not free. Somebody has to pay for it. Social Security. Oh, the Social Security and this, that. Going bye-bye thanks to Donald Trump. Man, the Social Security has been going out the window for years. They've been talking about that. They've been saying by 2050, there will be no Social Security. For years. It's an unfunded liability. Well, let me ask you this. If it's an unfunded liability, why has money been coming out of my paycheck every week going to Social Security? Because they take that money and they send it to where the fuck they want to send it to. I don't know, like what, Israel? Ukraine, other countries? We are in debt. We are already in debt. Why? Are we in debt because of Republicans? Are we in debt because of Democrats? Fuck no. It doesn't matter which party is in office. There is a budget hearing, right? And a budget bill every goddamn year. There is a spending bill every year, no matter what party is in office. No matter what party has control, there are spending bills. Who has to pay for what they want to pay for with these spending bills? We do. Whether it's free health care, Social Security, free college. Y'all want free college and free this and free that. It's not fucking free. We are in debt. We are in debt that we can't pay in our lifetime. Guess who has to pay for it? My children, my children's children, my children's children's children. And if we keep going the way we're going, we'll never stop paying for it. There's no such thing as free healthcare. I am wrong in some of what I preach, and sometimes you have to choose a no, I don't. I don't have to choose a lesser. That's wild shit. No, I don't have to choose it. I don't. Desiree Oliver says, I do find it hilarious, though, that lately, every time a city hosts the Republican National Convention, the grinder app in that city. Desiree, you ain't lying, boy. Yeah, because they're hypocrites. Both sides are hypocrites. But in different directions. Right? It's the cognitive dissonance that boggles my mind. No, I don't. Better choice. See, y'all choose every time y'all go out and vote. I don't vote for that very reason. Oh, well, if you don't vote, you don't get a say. I do get a say. Let me explain why. Because if I don't vote, guess what I'm not doing? I'm not backing a particular candidate. Okay. Well, when you vote, you are backing a particular candidate. Well, guess what? If your candidate wins and fucks some shit up, well, guess who got them there? Who helped get them in that position? You did. You vouched for them. What did I do? I refused to vouch for anybody because I don't believe that any of these guys should rule over me. I'm not going to choose somebody to rule over you, and I'm not going to choose anybody to rule over myself. Why would I do that? So when I don't vote, what I am doing is I'm refusing to submit. I'm refusing to submit to the system. When you vote, you place a vote up in there, you're letting them know, okay, I want this guy to win. But if he doesn't win, I'll still go with the guy that did win. I'll go with them. What I do when I don't vote is I'm saying, nah, I'm not vouching for any one of these motherfuckers. So when your guy fucks up and does some crazy wild shit, you have to answer for that, not me, because I didn't choose him. I did not choose the system. You chose the system. You chose a guy. Your guy did some stupid shit. You got to vouch for it. You have to say, look, yeah, I did help this guy get in there. I did choose this guy. And it's okay. You can vote for somebody and they fuck it up. It's okay to say, you know what, I voted for the wrong guy. But what I did, I said, nah, I ain't. No. So I do get to say, when your guy fucks up, I get to say something. Yes, I do. But everybody gets to say something. Everybody does. No, I didn't. You know what I chose? No, see, this is where you get it fucked up, Jimmer, or Gimmer. I chose abstinence. Yeah, I did make a choice. See, y'all chose one of the two people. I chose not to choose either of those people. Yeah, I did make a choice. You're absolutely right. I appreciate that, Zane Anthony. I'm not wearing contacts, Gaming Willis, but nice try. Not wearing contacts. Kamala did not want division. Whatever you say. But let me tell you something. Let's talk about the policy of giving immigrants free shit when they cross the border illegally. Do you think it was free? It was free for them. Because guess what? They never worked in this country and had their money extorted from them. They didn't pay into the system, so it's actually free for them. But we paid for it. That is a violation of our rights. The violation of our rights to not be extorted to pay for other people to get free shit. You think that's a good policy? It's not a good policy. There is no such thing as a good policy that affects everybody, whether they like it or not. The best policy is the policy that affects those that voluntarily participate in the system that policy would be implemented in. Frank Aguilar says we need to cancel all social services. We need to cancel government. But we're in a position right now where we have allowed government to grow so large and so influential that if we do it, guess what? Every other country that hates us, thanks to our government, will take advantage and come up in here and do the same thing or worse than what our government's already doing. So we have to be smart about it. I explained it multiple times in multiple live streams. See, I've done research. I have presented data. But see, I'm not arguing with, if you want a small government that only affects those that volunteer to participate in that government, I have no problem with that. I believe in voluntarism, meaning if you want to participate in a system of government, a very small system of government that is not so far-reaching and you know, expand beyond what it should, then that's fine. If you want to have a community of 1,000 or so people that all have a system of government that you voluntarily participate in, I have no problem with that. But you should not force individuals to participate in the government. Yes, Yahshua says Israel owns Trump and owns Biden. I agree with that. I agree. There's a lot of shit going on. What also is bipartisan? We have to talk about it. Every time we sent the Ukraine money, our money, to fight in this war that we ain't got nothing to do with. And I know some of y'all think that we should have. No, we shouldn't. Bipartisan. Every time they had to send money to these countries, bipartisan, they both agreed to send our money, billions of dollars, to these countries, our equipment to these countries. Israel. Every time we fund Israel in this war, bipartisan. Two wings, same bird. One system, two parties. Bipartisan, identically bipartisan. That's when I will tell you, It's identical. Salute to Chrissy Salvatore. Okay, Chrissy, how you doing? How you doing? Anyway, let me stop. I'm a man, I can't help it. I appreciate that, Boshi. Yes, please get the likes up. Hit the like button. It ain't gonna hurt you. It ain't gonna hurt you. That free healthcare that y'all talking about, that free education, well, the people of Israel actually get it. It's actually free for them. You know why? Because they take our money and use it for their free shit. Yeah, they use our money to pay for the people of Israel's education and healthcare. It's actually free for them. But they use our money. You get what I'm saying? Y'all think that's good policy? No. Both sides agree to do that. Both sides, bipartisan, every time they fund Israel. You get what I'm saying? You can't pull the wool over my eyes and try to convince me, the right. The right is the party of evil. The right is the party of PDF files. Well, Alan Dershowitz is a Democrat. What was it? Jeffrey Epstein was a Democrat. Bill Clinton is a Democrat. But we want to dismiss that. We want to roll right over that like it's nothing. These Epstein files, you think it just consists of Republican elites? Nah, bruh. Right, yes, Joshua. It does not matter the party. F-off says, hell no, both sides got the fair share of evil. Exactly. So I don't understand why one would argue with me and try to tell me you want to focus on the two wings of the same bird shit, and you want to acknowledge that both sides are fucked up, but you don't want to say, oh, the left is evil too. You want to say they can be evil. Both sides have participated in the implementation of atrocities in this country and all across the world. We invaded Iraq based on a lie. But guess what? Congress came together and they both agreed we should invade Iraq. Bipartisan. They knew it was a lie. They knew. We didn't know until who told us? Colin Powell. There were no weapons of mass destruction. You think they used that lie to convince Congress? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. They didn't. No, they told us that it was a lie, and they told us to our face. Oh, the government only lies when Republicans are in control? Is that what you want to believe? Man, if you don't knock it off. What I am arguing, what I am saying is that instead of focusing me, I'm telling you what I'm doing. You can do whatever you want to do. Do whatever you want. What I do, instead of focusing on which side is the worst side, I focus on fuck both sides and let's work towards obtaining our freedoms and sovereignty. Cut the middleman out. Why do we need him? Yes, Joshua, beware the person that tells you what you want to hear. What up, Dirty Drifter? Salute to you. And that's my that's my position. That's my point. I don't care which side y'all believe is. I don't care about none of that. Rock with whatever side you want to rock with. What I'm telling you is I'm more interested in focusing on how do we obtain freedom? What are the solutions? The solution is not to continue to feed the system and submit to the system that will continue to keep you under their thumb. Why do we do that? I want a lawless country? Your ignorance is beyond help. Well, too bad, Lee Reed. I guess it is. Man-made laws? Absolutely. See, I have enough understanding of what between good and right to know that I should not hurt other people. I should not violate other people's rights. I need somebody to write laws to tell me that. I shouldn't just go up and murder people. I shouldn't just go up and grape people. I shouldn't just do this. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't destroy other people's property. I shouldn't steal from somebody. I shouldn't hold somebody. I understand these things. I need laws for that. I need man-made laws. No, I'm not talking about overthrowing the government, Lee Reed. Knock it off. I'm not talking about overthrowing the government. Kangar J says a lot of statists cope with government regardless of how they feel, how corrupt it is. I know, because they don't know what any other way. They have been conditioned to believe they need government to exist. Oh, Dakota, you absolutely need consequences. Consequences will come. What if we are jailed for our beliefs? Yahshua, that's coming. It's coming. Thank you, Joshua. I appreciate that. Silver Fox says common sense. Don't need laws for that. I agree with you, brother. Yeah, you don't need laws for that. You don't need man-made laws. Real laws already exist whether you like it or not. Law of gravity, law of relativity, all the scientific laws that you cannot break. Not man-made edicts and laws that they choose not to go with. I'm going to make you obey this law, but I'm not going to obey it. No, these laws don't apply to me. They apply to you. Because we want to keep you controlled in the name of public safety and public health. Yes, the government has the files. Both sides within government right now are not releasing the files, including liberal judges, Republican Congress people, just both sides. Who made these laws? Not colored people. Some colored people participate in the creation of laws. Yes. Anarchy Television says government is a religion. People need to stop believing in a religion called government. Government has always been the aggressor and the problem for centuries. Absolutely. Amen, Anarchy Television. My brother in anarchistic arms. That is an understanding that most people aren't ready for yet. Most people aren't ready for this understanding. Most people don't understand it. Most people they're not ready for that. They worried about the roads and the bridges and the schools and the this and the that. Well, they don't understand the government didn't build roads. The government didn't build bridges. The government didn't build hospitals. The government did not anoint people with the ability and the knowledge for ingenuity in mechanical reasoning, a level of engineering knowledge that comes from people's understanding and studying and practicing. The people that build the bridges are individual human beings that got together, puts their heads together and say, you know what, if we did this and we did that, if we put this in the middle and we extend this out, the government didn't anoint people with that ability and knowledge. You build a road, level things out, excavate, run some cable, run this conduit, pull wire through it. The government didn't tell me how to do that. I know how to do that. I went to school and learned it. I went to an apprenticeship program and I learned electrical theory and I went out there, I put my hands on shit. I built things with my own hands. I did not need the government to beam down knowledge into me. These are things you get together with individuals that have these abilities, right? You find a group of individuals that have certain sets of skills that can work together to build. The Amish do it all the time. The Amish does not need a government, a huge, overreaching, overarching government to build a fucking schoolhouse. They just do it. They work together. They have their own system, a small system that works for them. Who provides the asphalt? The earth provides the asphalt. You got to put together the ingredients, mix them together. Oh, y'all think the government said, here's asphalt? Absolutely not. No, they found different forms of earth mixed with water. And they said, you know what? If we do this and we take this, that, we take these substances, we heat it up, turn it into black tar, we spread it out. Oh, look what it forms. It forms asphalt. What are you talking about? The wealth of knowledge that is out there in the world right now. Right there at your fingertips. And you think you need the government to build shit. No one's going to do it for free. Who said anything about anybody doing anything for free? You know where you can get cement from? You get it from the ground. Copper, gold, people mine for those things. They've been mining for it. And private individuals have been doing that. Right? Anyway, y'all, I just wanted to give my position on why I say fuck both sides. I don't need to justify why. I don't need to try to explain and argue about which side is worse than the other. Like, what? Come on. That's what we want to focus on. We want to hammer one side. Oh, what, this side, that side, this side, this. It goes beyond that. And we shouldn't, if we have this understanding, why are we saying, if we know that both sides got it wrong and both sides ain't got their shit together, why are we arguing against one side more than the other? If you are not a Republican or a Democrat, why are you going? I don't understand this. If we haven't understand, it's called cognitive dissonance. Having two opposing beliefs at the same time. You believe both sides are fucked up, but you believe one side is more fucked up. But you don't really understand how fucked up one side is. You don't, because you're not in there. You're not actually operating within either side. You're not you're not a politician. You don't know what they deal with behind the scenes. You don't know how much what level of evil they participate in. All you know is what they show you. I don't know. So why would I sit up here and try to determine and try to place more evil on one? I don't know how evil one side is. So I just decide to say, fuck both evils. Because I'm not a fly on their fucking wall. But I do have certain understandings. When I look at patterns, when I look at the evidence presented to me, when I look at where the money goes, if you chase the money down, you'll have an understanding. If you chase down what legislation is the most damaging for the American people that are bipartisan, you have an understanding. When you understand how special interest groups work, how they lobby in Congress, how the corporations work, how the bankers work. When Barack Obama had an opportunity to bail somebody out in 2008, was the housing crisis because of him? No. The housing crisis had been decades in the making. The predatory loan practices that led to the housing bubble, that has decades in the making. But when the bubble burst and Obama had an opportunity to bail somebody out, did he bail out the homeowners that were going through foreclosures? Did he bail out those people that were losing their jobs? No. He bailed out the fucking banks. He bailed out the lenders that were responsible for these predatory loan practices. That's what Obama did. And that's evil as fuck. You're going to bail out the predators that created this problem, that took advantage of low-income individuals? That is evil. And I can't fuck with it. Donald Trump, just to make it fair, Donald Trump, what did he do? He loves, God damn it, civil asset forfeiture. He pushed that big time. Civil asset forfeiture, when they can take your shit, when they just suspect that you may have committed a crime to get that shit. Pure evil. What about, I like, take the guns first, due process second? What about Operation Warp Speed that brought about the hokey pokies that they tried to force people to get injected with during the Modelo 19 pandemic? The trillions of dollars of our money that he spent on these bills. Pure evil. Why would I choose one over the other? It makes no sense to me. Anyway, the bump stock bans. What? What? No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the message of freedom and try to help people understand that in order to achieve true, unadulterated sovereignty and freedom, you have to remove the roadblocks. And the biggest roadblock that we have is the United States government. Right? People think it's a pipe dream. Oh, it's not going to happen. It's not going to. You can't get rid of the government. They got tanks and F-16s and this, that. I don't give a fuck what they got. Is that the point? No, the idea is to send that message of freedom to the individuals within the military. Send that message to them. Help them understand that one day your leaders are going to want you to turn your guns not outward toward the enemy, but in towards your own people. Will they pull the fucking trigger? That's what we have to help them understand, right? Because I'm a veteran. Are they going to be willing to turn their firearms on their own people? Are they going to be willing to launch drone strikes against their own people if they're given the order? There are ways to do this. I've talked about it before. I'll talk about it again in a future live stream. Anyway, let me get this done. Thank you guys for coming through. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for your disagreements, your agreements, your whatever. I appreciate every single one of you guys. This is just a disagreement of ideas. And that's all it has to be. That's all it is. I have no personal gripe against anybody. I have no personal gripe. I have no personal gripe against the individual that inspired me to make this live stream, Trill Will, LDBC or nothing. I have no gripe with him. I understand, like he mentioned, that he started looking into shit months ago, and he's gaining a certain level of understanding. I have no issue with him. We just disagree on this here situation. We disagree about this idea that one side is evil and the other side, well, they're not really evil. They might be capable. No, we disagree on that. We disagree on the assault weapons ban, and that's okay. That's why I have a platform. Instead of me typing in your chat about it, I say, you know what, let me do my own live stream to explain my position. And that's the beautiful thing about having this platform that I can do this with. I appreciate that, Realize. I know that Anarchy Television. But the hope is maybe to spark something in your brain to have you really thinking about it. Like, man, really look into it. And ask yourself this question. Do we really need this overreaching, overarching central government to run our lives when they have so many other things that they want to represent, when they have so many people outside in the shadows with their hands up their ass doing this, pulling on strings? That's what we have to ask ourselves. Lee Reed, I was not Navy, but nice try. Anyway, much love, like, share, subscribe. Please hit the like button on the way out, and we're going to keep marching forward toward freedom.